we have the creator of this whole world, Charlene Harris. And then we have Pam, my favorite character. And Jessica, Deborah Ann Ross. My other favorite character, Lafayette, Nelson. And then we just saw him, but please welcome Alan Ball again. And then the king of Mississippi, Dennis O'Hare. My favorite shapeshifter, Sam Trammell. The lady with the worst taste in men, Tara. And then Sookie Stackhouse herself, Anna Paquin. And Mr. Bill Compton, Stephen Moyer. Before we start, let's, get the elephant out of the room. Someone seems to be missing. Alex seems very quiet, but we should say Alex is out filming a movie, and so is Ryan Kwan, so they can be here. I know, it's sad. We wish their atlases were here. So I'm going to start with Anna. Sookie, obviously, as we saw from this little peek, is much more badass this season. Yeah, that's right. Have you enjoyed that aspect of her? Have you enjoyed kind of being a kick-ass, heroine?
Yeah, well, I think she always kicks ass in her own way, but at this point her life has beat her up so much that she's starting to fight back, and it's been really fun. And I get to literally kick some ass.
Yeah. It's kind of harkening back to your X-Men days a little bit, I feel like.
Except I never got any action in X-Men, so...
What's what?
I never got any action in X-Men, but it would have been nice.
Yeah. You did wear lovely opposite gloves.
I wore some really hot gloves.
You did. So in the last episode we saw, Sookie used her kind of microwave fingers again. Is that? Are we going to see more of that this season?
Well, obviously we're going to figure out what they really are, because aside from microwave fingers, there's got to be something cool behind that.
Or maybe she just fell in a radioactive.
Maybe she likes to make coffee hot or something. I don't know. I'm guessing there's something behind that. Yes, we're finding that out, I believe.
Besides Sookie being badass, she's also been a lot funnier, I think. Like, she's just really lightened up, and particularly I loved your impersonation of Bill. Yeah. Now, did y'all workshop that? How did that come about? Was there
or maybe I've heard him say it a lot.
Stephen, what did you think of that impersonation?
I thought I'd like to hear it again one more time.
Sookie. while Sookie's been a lot funnier, Bill's gotten crazy dark. I mean, incredibly twisted. We'll get to some specific twisting in a little bit, but Stephen, has this been fun for you to play? Sort of the dark side of Bill?
I think one of the most amazing things about all of our show and everything in it is that Alan very rarely gets you to do the same thing twice. So you always get this opportunity to, it's amazing echo, isn't it? Like being in the Colosseum. And so being able to do something so different, so weird like that scene or other elements is, that you're never going to do the same thing again, and it's just such a joy as an actor to work on a job like this, where you know that you're not going to be solving the same crime next week. You're not going to be. It's utterly other.
Yeah.
And so it's been amazing for me.
So let's talk about the most twisted sex scene in True Blood history. Where Bill literally turned Maria's head, I think 180. How did you all shoot that? Was that, obviously you did not really do that on tour, but...
Well, she's not here.
True, being but fair. Was it, done? How did you all...
Am I allowed to say how we do it, Alan?
We really killed her. Yeah, of course.
It's amazing. The detail that goes into working out a scene like that. Alex Wu, one of our staff writers, came up with that scene and came up with that moment. And then the work that goes into it is, how do we make it? How can we make that visually that thing? How do we do that? So, snap the chick's neck. So Mariana ended up having to go and have a full life cast made of her body, which was then presented to me to go home and play with for the night. Why not? There were two, I just couldn't help myself. And so basically, it's me on a bed, with the torso strapped to me, so that when I move in it, the thing moves. And the neck itself was articulated so that as you turned the neck, it ratcheted like a ratchet. And then it got to a point where it stopped, and then we had to film Mariana's on her front, so that they had the front with the arms, and then we had to shoot her so she was on her back, sorry, then on her front with her head down in that position, and then they married the two images together. Absolutely insane and fantastic.
That to me, that was one of the more kind of grotesque moments of True Blood, but at the same time, one that was really cool. Do you guys have kind of favorite gross out moments, all of you, in terms of what you filmed? Do you have favorite kind of moments of gore and grossness?
I have one, but it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, interesting.
Last season, when Marianne takes over Grand's house, and I come home, there was a small naked man in my sink who was doing something that looked quite intimate with what I believe were some intestines.
Yeah.
There was also an animal head of some sort on the kitchen table, and a half-clad Mike Spencer lying on the floor. That was pretty interesting.
Six in the memory.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marianne, Regina, Tara just has a penchant for loons. I don't know what is wrong with her. She loves a loony person. She's on Match.com and finds someone that is not crazy. And now she's with Franklin, who again is a complete psychopath. James Frank is awesome. Why is she drawn to these people? Is she searching for something? What is it?
Looking for love all around it. I don't know. I just think she attracts these types of people who, love to see someone who plays a victim all the time. I think when Tara actually gets close to loving someone or gets intrigued by someone, she immediately runs away. Like we've seen her do it with Sam, we now have seen her do it with James. She's like, oh, I think I kind of like you, I'm gonna go over here. Right. And I think that's an insecurity that she has and this like defense mechanism that she puts up. And I think that's learned from her childhood because, you know, she has no father around. And usually women who grow up without a man in their life, they usually have some male issues. So, I mean, she's a little unstable right now, but I'm hoping for some stability in the near future.
I mean, speaking of being drawn to disturb people, Sam, like, Sam's family is, like, pure Maury Povich trash. Not even, like, I mean, like, he needs a DNA test up in this piece, because they are... So why is Sam so intent on helping them? Because they're clearly not well-balanced people. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think Sam is really intent, you know, wants to help his brother. And the family kind of goes along with the brother. And, you know, unfortunately, that's not going to be necessarily the best thing in the end.
You know, Dennis, I was on set in, like, I think March, and you and I I was lucky enough to talk to you, and you had created this entire backstory for Russell that was kind of fascinating because you're a total history buff, right?
Too much time on my hands.
Yeah. So tell me, I mean, if you can share with the audience a little bit of what you sort of created for Russell.
Well, Alan gives us a great skeleton or starting point, and then he encouraged us to go ahead and fill things in. He's incredibly generous that way. And I would write him these long, scary stalker emails, private